most MSP owners I meet don't have very good goals. They're either too small, they're not defined well enough, or they just don't inspire them. And so stop aiming for new clients. Everybody wants new clients. But what I advise people that I coach to do is actually aim for impact. What's the impact you want to make in the world? And I'm thinking, 10, 20 years out, what do you want to have done in those time periods? And work backwards from there, because that'll really set you up for success. Most MSPs set incremental goals. They're like, we're gonna grow 10% next year, we're gonna add 5 more clients next year. And the reason that sometimes works is because, just natural attrition. If your clients grow by 5%, you're gonna grow. It's not actually that hard. But the problems that creates is that you're not actually creating something that's inspiring for your team. Your team needs to be inspired, and really, as a founder, after 10 years in your business, you're gonna kind of get bored with it too. So you need to have something that will inspire you as a leader. The other reason that you need big goals is that if you have big goals, you're making decisions towards those goals and not the little goals or the non-existent goals that you might have had before. And so those decisions might be certain systems you want to put in place, people you want to hire. If you're making those decisions with that longer outlook, then you're going to make better decisions every time. A few other reasons that big goals matter is that it actually forces innovation. So it says, well, we don't have the money and resources today, but we know we're going to need it to get to that big goal. So how do we accomplish it? It helps your people get creative and come up with solutions. It actually breaks you out of your comfort zones as well. And so, you can get in this business where it's a nice lifestyle business, you're making decent money, and you're just kind of coasting along. And the problem with coasting along in business is that if you're not proactively trying to grow and stay relevant and stay ahead of things, your business is gonna, go to the wayside. All the new MSPs coming up, all the new technology coming up is going to bypass you, and your clients are going to leave you because they want to work with a more forward-thinking MSP. And that's the worst thing that could happen. And then the last thing, I already alluded to it, but it's really having those big goals creates alignment with your team, gets them excited for the future. You might not be growing fast enough. They could go get a promotion and make more money elsewhere, but if you've got that long-term vision and goal that they believe in and the impact that that's going to make, and they want to be a part of that impact, then they'll stay with you for the long run. And that really, energizing your team, energizing yourself as a leader is really important. There's a great book out there called 10X is easier than 2X. I recommend reading it. But the other thing too that you can do right now is you can say, what's my goal for next year? And if it's like, 10% growth, okay, well, why don't you 10X that? What if you wanted to double your business? What would be different? Ask yourself, what would you need to change to accomplish that? And maybe you don't do that, but maybe it's somewhere in the middle, and you're stretching a little further and you're actually making better decisions now. The other thing too is I always coach the MSPs that I coach to set an annual goal, obviously, that aligns with that longer term impact vision, but then break it down into quarters and make sure you're on track and pivot as you need to. Figure out what your team needs and what the market's doing out there, and go with it. And as a business owner, you can't make excuses. You just have to figure out all the problems as you go. My call to action for you for 2025 is to think bigger, create a bigger vision, and you'll have much bigger impact.